All right, guys. Very good to see you all. We're all looking back fondly at the recent New England Vintage Electronics Expo last Sunday, in which a number of you were there. I wish all of you were there, but I know some of you have a distance to go. But it was a overall, I think, a pretty terrific meet, despite even having just a little touch of weather. That was not a big deal, but we had a little bit of a snow burst. It came down fairly steadily for, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes, half hour, something like that, just covered things up. And by the time it stopped, it all disappeared. In fact, I didn't even saw any snow in my car. It just sort of came and went, but it was all part of the spirit. But at any rate, so we're all basking in the glow of a terrific event, and hopefully we all came away with something. I can't say I did, and I think I know some others did too. But so first of all, let me just start with the usual announcements. I wish there aren't really a lot yet. We're still in the early stages of getting things really rolling in the vintage electronics world. But I can say that let's see here, being that's the 11th, there is on the next big event is really in March 15th is the Con Contukuk Valley Radio Club Hamfest Flea Market. Probably I don't know if Contukuk. That's a strange name.
Easy
Must
for you to
be.
say.
Yeah. Contukuk. I guess it's Contukuk because I look at it, Contukuk. It must be Indian clearly or something, or some sort of acronym or some abbreviation someone merged together. But anyway, it's a Contukuk Valley Radio Club Hamfest Flea Market in Henniker, New Hampshire, and that's from 8 to 12. So if you didn't get enough from March 1st, here's your opportunity to go and buy some more. And lest I ignore our friends south of us, on the same day, on March 15th, the New Jersey Antique Radio Club will have their spring Hamfest and Swap Meet. And Bob, I'm sure you'll be giving us lots of stories when we hit that free meet that follows.
Well, there also will be a video
Ah, even better. So we can, show the video. We get to talk about what
because
you saw.
I'm gonna have my wife and the vice president of the club helping me out at my table, so I should have plenty of time to go around with a camera and see what kind of trouble I can get into.
Very good. Very good. We look forward to that. So we'll get to hear some stories. Hey, if you get a chance, take some photos too. We'd love to see some stills of what was available or not available or whatever the case may be. But yeah, we'd love to see what's going on since we don't get a chance to see,
I
uh,
will do my best because the event only lasts for about not quite 4 hours. It's
yeah,
realistically maybe three and a half or three and a quarter. So it's
yeah,
kind of an in and out quick thing. So I will do my best to make sure I get enough content so you guys. I'm sure I'll find something strange and exotic to show you guys.
that'd be fun. Um, Speaking of actually videos and pictures, I have uploaded the pictures onto our Google Drive, so I'll be announcing that in the not too distant future. I have to not only did I take photos, but also Joe Devonshire also took a lot of great photos. So I basically merged the two because there weren't too many duplicates, and if there were a few, I was like, okay, in the greatest scheme of things, we'll just burn the memory. But there was a lot of so between the two of us, there's lots of good photos to see. There's some terrific items to see. For example, in fact, we'll get a chance to walk through some of these at the next Zoom meeting. But for example, George Kaujaka brought his beautiful Spartan 576, the copper one, copper color, beautiful looking radio. Some lucky guy walked home, brought that home with him. And likewise, he brought his cobalt blue one, which I missed, unfortunately. I guess he brought both radios in, had separate buyers. He had arrived a little late, so I was circulating, taking photos. And by the time I circled back, only the copper one was there because the new owner hadn't arrived yet. So I missed the cobalt blue one, sadly, but I think I've taken photos of one in the past, maybe. So I was glad to get the copper one because I've never seen one in person. So that was fun. Um, And also, I did take a video. I just have to, the video cam takes it in 15 minutes splices, chunks. So I got to, upload from the camera to my iPad take iMovie and glue it together, concatenate it into one concatenated video and be done with it. But I haven't had a chance to do it because I've just been so busy this week. But the video is coming. Stay tuned. And I did turn on the microphone. I checked before I did. So I had the little blue light. And I said, and even did a quick video testing, and I heard my voice. I said, all right. Yeah, I got it right this time. So just bear with me. I'll try and get it in sometime over the weekend. I'll send an email out announcing. But at any rate, I think those are all the announcements that I can think of. So I want to give it out to anybody who knows of something that I didn't cover in terms of announcements that we should be aware of. So, Pear's arriving. So I'm thinking not. Okay, well, that's absolutely fine. I want to give it just I know he's listening in from work, but I'm going to just a quick shout out to Joe because Joe was our most far-reaching vendor who came out from Michigan to be a vendor and sell. And I do have photos to prove it. So Joe can say I was
Wow.
there with his girlfriends. It was nice to see, nice to meet. So it's good to have such a far vendor. And there's a club member. But so yeah. So why don't we just kick off and do sort of, hey, I'll do a round robin. Anyone who was at the show, do tell us about what your thoughts were about the show, as well as, whatever you came home with, whether you're a buyer or a seller or both. And let's, or if you have any ongoing projects, if you didn't make the show or you're too far away, um, tell us what's going on. So I'm going to just actually got to pick on Bill because I know he has to leave a little bit early, so I make sure I get him in before we cut it too tight. So, so Bill, how did you like the show? I know I saw you there because we have some photos to prove it. And oh, you're on mute there, Bill. Whoop, you muted yourself again. Whoop, you muted yourself again. You have to unmute. Whoop, hold on. Okay. There you go.
All right. Anyway, I thought it was fantastic. It's the best show that I've been to. The vendors were terrific. The selections were terrific. I promised my wife, because as you know, I'm addicted to consoles, that I would not come home with a console. I swore up and down I would not come home with a console. So instead, I got the biggest honking table radio I could find.
Yeah, in fact, I can.
So I, I, in my promise was, I like I promised her, but I couldn't resist. You know how it is, John.
Yes, indeed. In fact, let me
Yeah.
share so you can tell us about what you happen to just grab, take home with you. Uh, so let me close.
Oh, nice Vilco.
That's beautiful.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
that I got that from Mr. Scarpelli. It is a Philco 42350, and I was initially kind of confused because my understanding of the 42 model Philcos were the dials were sort of reddish, which I don't care for. But then I looked online, and this particular model had this dial. So it's a great performer. I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, it's a beautiful. I mean, I love the design on it. Plus, it's got some heft to it. I mean, look at those, at either side, those bookends. They almost look like bookends. They just have just a nice solid feel.
Yeah, the
One,
finish.
one really cool feature about that radio is that if you look at the top, John, you could probably blow that in if you want, but you can see that actually has the early FM as
Oh
well as the
yeah.
later FM up to about not quite 100 megs on it.
Yes, you are right. You can catch the lower end of the FM spectrum. Oh, I didn't even catch that. So from just above 87, you got that little band up there you could watch, for example, listen to, well, there's not a whole lot, but like, what's the one? There's a rock station 92 something, but there's also the NPR stations sit on the 90, 91.9 and 9 and 87, 89.7, pardon me.
I will have to try that. I was not aware of that, so thank you for filling me in on that.
Yeah, that's a good
Um,
catch, Bob.
but
The other thing is, while you still have that up there, John, if you look on your right where you have the band thing, as you go through the bands, there's an orange light that points to the band that you're on.
Yes. Yep.
So it lights up right there.
So it
Yep.
actually lights up that it'll just tell you with a light that, okay, you're on this band and on that.
Oh.
I used to have the shortwave version of this that had just the broadcast band and then 2 shortwave bands, and it had that feature, same feature on it.
Yeah, and the picture does not do it justice. The finish on it is absolutely beautiful. This is a little bit bleached out, but it's original finish. There's no flaws and nicks or anything in it, and
Looks like it came from New York or
Yeah, I was gonna say it's
yeah,
WOR, which is my parents listen to that all the time.
WABC, WNEW,
WABs, WABC.
WJZ.
WEAF
Yep.
is what became WNBC.
Yep.
Right.
okay.
Yeah, and then WFAN it became.
Right. The
That
fan.
was
Wow, that's terrific. So that's really
Quack,
really
quack,
cool that
kindness
you
in the morning.
yeah. WNBC.
Yep, and I didn't break my promise to my wife, so
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
hey, Joe,
almost.
if you really want to make that pop, that brass surround that's around the white buttons,
Yeah.
Yes.
there's only 2 screws holding it on. You could polish that up and then
Okay.
lacquer it, and then that thing will just really, it'll be like a piece of jewelry.
Okay, great. I'll
Is
give
that
a try.
brass?
Thanks.
Yeah,
Is
it's
that
brass.
because you know what might work really well? Because some people use Brasso. I use Simichrome, and the stuff is terrific. It does a really
Yeah,
bright.
just some kind of polish and then wash it off real good and then put clear lacquer over it so don't
Yeah.
tarnish again. That thing it'll look like a piece of jewelry. It's gonna look
Yeah.
really nice.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, I'll try it.
Yeah, it's a nice find, Joe. Enjoy that radio because that's a sweetheart.
Actually, what I'll do is I'll throw you have the other foot. Hold on a second here. That's what.
Even if it is a little on the small side for some of us.
For console, right?
Yeah.
There you go. There it is lit up. And actually,
There it is. Oh yeah,
speaking to your
Okay.
point there,
It's on
Bob.
the AM
there's the
band.
pointer.
Yeah, that's nice.
I'm going to try that FM. I haven't tried that.
Yeah, you should be
Yeah,
able to.
there's college stations down there. There's different things.
Yeah,
What I don't remember is if it had a built-in antenna for that, or you have to hook that up to something.
No, it is a built-in antenna.
Oh, it does?
Yes, it's a built-in antenna, has good reception. I actually have one of those wire antennas on a spool with a clip that you could buy, and I added that to it because this is in my den, and I don't have the external antenna available for it. So
Yeah, I was thinking. Well, I knew it had the loop inside, but I was thinking about the FN band.
Oh, I
And
see what you mean. Yeah.
Do you do the folded dipole thing for that like you used to do in college dorms, or does it take something different when it's one of these older radios?
What for FM dipole there, Noah?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I have to look you'd have to look in the back, but maybe. Though it wouldn't surprise me if it takes the U clips.
Yeah.
The little Fahrenstock clips.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do have a dipole antenna. I could try that.
But given that where you live, Bill, you could catch either the Boston or Rhode Island stations because you're far enough south that you could probably pick up Rhode Island as well. So you might get some good opportunity for some decent FM on that. I think GBH or BUR GBH probably has a better chance of reaching you than BUR at that point from your distance, but I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I get both.
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, but those are terrific. It really looks nice, lit up. Nice looking radio. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And actually, while we're here, let's see if I can go down. Whoops.
I look better when I'm lit up too. At least
actually, you look better when I'm lit up
too.
Hey, it must be Philco night.
Yes, I think there will be a sort of a Philco theme to some of this. And Bill, this is your absolutely pristine console.
1933, and I've showed this before, but I just wanted to show it again because if you walked into a Philco dealer in late 32, early 33, this is exactly how it would look. It is in pristine condition.
Yeah.
Art Belavaca had his friend restore it, and it's just stunning.
Yeah, it's a beautiful, I mean, the cabinet is just, it's a looker. And a performer, I take it.
It is. It
Oh
also
yeah.
has a working shadow dial.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
I
that
was
has
just
a
going to
shadow.
ask you if that worked or not. I
Yeah,
saw it on there and said, "Wow, this is pretty nice radio."
yeah, it works.
All right. Well, that's a beauty. That's absolutely a beauty. Well, look at that. So Bill is still cognizant. He didn't get the wallop of the waffle iron, so he's still
I'm still
with
conscious.
us, still conscious.
Yeah.
So that's good. Well, that's great. Well, congratulations. So yeah, so glad you came home with something.
Me too. And with my wife.
There you go. Everything was you bought safely and you arrived.
Yes.
But cool. So I'll stop that share.
Now, did
Uh,
you fill your SUV, John?
I did not. Well, I did take a few things. I will show towards the end. I usually let everybody else go, and I'll go at the end. But I did pick up a couple
Okay.
couple of days. And well, let me. You know what? I'm going to do a partial share. I'm going to show one thing, and I'll go back at the end and show the other thing I got. Then that way, because I want to actually give credit where credit is due here. Bear with me. I just have to grab the photo. I just have it in a different folder.
Okay.
Uh,
And while you're looking, Bob, when are you coming out with another video?
Hopefully, after we have an event, the club's having an event on Sunday, our
Okay.
spring swap meet. So I'm going to try to put a video together for
All right.
that.
Look forward to it. Okay.
all right. No, it's yes, definitely.
I saw your little mail, Bill, and I really appreciate the kind words and the fact that you're enjoying yourself.
It's
So thank
deserved.
you. Oh,
Ooh.
38-4? Is that right?
14. 14.
14. Okay.
I actually have to this actually uh I got this from Bill. That's why I'm going to give him all the credits to that. I got them from Bill. And so I came home. This is my first Philco, and it's a great little performer. I was really pleasantly surprised. I said, wow, this picks up pretty, this has good sensitivity.
They actually made them in three flavors. They made the AM only model. They had this one with the kind of like the lower bands of shortwave, and then they had one with a higher band of shortwave on it. And they're all good performers,
Yeah. Nice looking dial.
Yeah, it is. In fact, actually, let's see, I think I have
like a
a
little sunburst.
yeah, I always whoops, there we go. There's it lit up. You can see a little bit of it lit up so you can get to see it. I think it looks quite, if I zoom in here a little bit. It's a very aesthetically pleasing. In fact, I sent the photo to my sister and she loves all things Art Deco. So she saw it. I go, oh, I love that, and I sent her photos also
Well,
of
John,
George.
there's a Christmas present for her.
I know. It's going to be hard pressed for to leave my hands.
And
Yeah.
one last thing, since we're talking about these radios, if you own one, now I used to have one and I gave it away as a gift. I wish I didn't because for some reason the value of these things have gone through the roof. And it might be because they're good performers and they're small and don't take up a lot of space.
Interesting. I mean,
Yes.
I was going through the AM. I was like, wow, this is one of the better AM performers, I've tried in a while. I was like, geez, sometimes like it's not having any trouble keeping up with my German stuff, and they're kind of bigger and you know,
The
uh,
only problem with these is that sometimes, not so much on this one, but I think on the AM only one, there were a bunch of them that got out that started having problems with the oscillator coil. And you had to either rewind it or cut it short and, that kind of thing. But other than that, these things are really stout radios and they're great performers.
yeah, no, I was pleasantly surprised, with a nice little package, and it looks and performs. It's not form over function, it is form and function. So give them all the credit for a terrific. So really, you know, so thanks to Bill, really. This is a nice little radio.
My pleasure.
So anyway, I will stop sharing because that was, and I'll show my other acquisition later.
What size speaker is in that?
Oh gosh, I didn't open up the back immediately, but that can't be more than
I forget.
4 or 5 inches, maybe.
I think it's a 4-incher,
Yeah.
but it still sounds really good.
Yeah,
It's,
I thought so. I said, geez, it picks up well. I could hear it nicely. It's like, wow, this is a nice little smart little radio,
and up in New England, you got all those AMers on short wave, so you can listen to the chit chats on 3885 and 7290 on 40-meter band, and
You have to get a wire
use the
for it.
shortwave to your advantage.
Yeah, I just had to get a wire for it because I probably won't be able to pick it up with that one, pick out much. But yeah, no, it's a nice little radio. But yeah, so and I'll go back later at the end. I picked up something else from Bruce and Phillips, so you'll see that a little later. But anyway, well, thank you, Bill. Thank you for showing what you got. Of course, thank you for my Philco, and always enjoy having you on here. Um, so let's see here. Let's see. Hey, I'm I'm going to pick on Russ because Russ was both a vendor and maybe a buyer. But how did the show go for you there, Russ?
Went pretty well, thanks, John. I sold some things and I brought home some things. If I can share my screen,
Yeah. Oh, right. It would really help if I turn that on. I do that all the time and I can't explain it. You usually have everything else ready.
maybe it's already
No,
working.
I turned it on. It's good. I forgot to. You are good to go, Russ. And while you bring that up, just a quick shout out to Carl. Nice to see you there, Carl.
Okay, is that show? Oh,
Good to be here.
there we go. I think.
Yeah, it's starting to paint, but nothing yet.
All right, how about
There
now?
you go. Yeah.
Oh, there we are.
Oh,
National.
Yeah, so this is
40D.
a NC 2-40D. I didn't get this at the show, but I had arranged a previous meetup with Ross Hostrasser, and
ah,
so it's a very interesting radio. It has a sliding catacomb with coils in it, and the reception on it is really very, very good. Um, I haven't really done anything to it yet. It was in working condition when I got it, so for now it's just well, it's actually in a different location now. But in any case, so that didn't come home from the show, and let's see if we can.
that's pretty cool. That is really, what year is that,
That's
would you say?
that's
Oh, I
that's
Late, very late 30s, I would say. Yeah,
Yes, that's really
early
nice.
40s. Yeah.
I like that. That was
Yeah.
my guess from the dial face. I think that looks no more than early 40s.
boy, you get
yes,
the companion speaker. That's a nice sounding set. But the one that I had about 20 years ago, and I recapped. I just let you learn at my expense. Um, underneath all that, there's a sliding catacomb that goes across left to right or right to left. So each section has its own RF oscillator, etc. coils in it. So you have to slide it all over one way to recap it. And I did and put it all back together, nice and neat. And then I tried to change bands and I couldn't. The caps were sticking up too far, so the catacomb couldn't move. So
oops.
just had to open it back up and flatten them all down, but orange drops got in the way. So
I can see that it would. Yeah.
yeah, they worked fine, and it is one of my favorite receivers. I've been admiring. Ross had that at Nearfest,
Yes.
and boy, the price was right, and I just kept looking at it, and I said, no, I got to learn to say no.
Yes.
Yeah.
So congratulations.
Thank you. Yes. So he included a transformer, matching transformer speaker that's in the little 3D printed box here. You can see my pointer. and I replaced the dial glass. And other than that, I know I have work to do on it, but for now, it's good, pretty good.
Those feet are so cool.
Yeah, really is. It's very nice, very heavy too.
Yes.
Let's see. Next, Steve
Oh,
Byan was at the show, and I stopped by to see him, and he handed me this because he knew I like some military things. It's perfect for my ARC-V radios. I've got I'll give it a good paint job at some point, but for now it's plugged in and working.
now what is that, Russ?
Well, it's a small speaker. That's
Oh,
roughly,
okay. I
yeah,
did speaker.
about 4 inches square, more or
Okay.
less. And yeah, it's got, like I said, I have it plugged into the ARC-V right now, one of the
Got it. RCA jack there.
so yeah, about a 1/4 inch here. Yeah. So that, and this is Emerson 544.
Oh, that's nice.
And
I think I
this,
got a shot of that. Um,
it
uh,
was across the aisle from me, and I kept staring at it. And was, oh, okay, I guess I'll go over and get it.
oh wow. Am I zooming for everybody else in this, or am I zooming locally? Because I'm actually using my.
Oh,
Okay, it must be just doing it locally. Okay, never mind. I was
oh,
wondering
okay.
whether the host control had that kind of extra control, but no. Okay, that's nice. I think I saw that there was a was that one of the vendors had a number of radios for very reasonable priced.
He did, right. He
Yeah.
was right next door to the guy that was selling the TVs. So I was staring at one of those TVs for the longest time. Went over and talked to him about it, but um, more than I was, I don't know anything about TVs. So, anyways, so that went home with him. TV
Nice.
did.
That's
And
nice. I love the dial face on this. I mean, it's a really nice looking
yeah, it's yeah, very nice looking. I haven't tried it out yet. I had other projects to do, and that actually brings me to this one. Um,
Oh,
John, who's on here, I saw. Thank you for this. I picked this up at the show. This is a BC 312N, and
yeah.
I've so far I have a lot of work I want to do to it, but I've kind of, like some other things, pushed it aside for now. But did give it a quick test just to make sure it was working. This one actually has the AC power supply, the RA20 in it instead of a dyno motor, so I was able to fire it up quickly. Anyways, I was able to receive some things and then shut it down and did a little bit of cleaning and planning for work in the future.
Hey, John,
yeah,
can I make a comment on this?
of course.
Um, these were designed. This is very interesting. This is actually a 1930s design.
Okay.
The 348, the 342, the 312 were way ahead of their time. These are actually very, very good radios. I've worked on a lot of these,
Oh,
and
interesting.
they are absolutely superb.
My father had a 348 on his bench. Yeah, it was a great radio. I loved listening to that while I was a kid.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
RCA in the early 30s, actually, the government put out a request to many manufacturers. RCA led the group. And the idea was to come up with an airborne version, a an Army version, and another version for the Army. And the idea, and this was in 1933. Now,
Wow.
what you'll notice is, if any of you know anything about RCA receivers, that knob on the front that you use to crank on the 348 especially, that you use to tune the frequency, that is the same knob that they used in the ACR 111, which was designed in 1935.
Hmm.
Oh,
And these radios, I'd like to go into them more, but I would hog up the whole thing, and I don't want to do that. But there's a really interesting design history behind these. If any of you know what's his name, I can't think of his name right now. He wrote a book on all vacuum tube radios up to, the vacuum tube era. Um, anyway, he gives a very good long description about this whole process that was used to develop these radios. They developed these in anticipation of the coming of World War II.
Wow. Wow.
So,
And that's in the 30s. So they saw they
yeah,
read the tea leaves, they could see it coming.
yep, yep, yep. That's right.
Hey, Rob, on my father's 348, it had an orange date stamp going across the front of it. So I think it probably went in use in World War II, but I don't remember specifically what it was.
Yeah, they never really went into production until the 1940, but they went through a very long design process and acceptance by the DoD for upcoming communications problems because they realized that they were really, really lacking in this kind of performance. And they were also, the Arc 5s and what have you, the aircraft radios, they were developed at the same time, along with the development of these. And the transmitters that we used, of course, was the Hallicrafters, HT, the big 500-watt transmitter.
Mhm.
And they used some smaller ones, but I can't think of them right now. And they would have this was paired with the Art 13, by the way, the BC 348, the airborne version,
Interesting.
which weighed significantly less than the 342 and the 312. The 342 is the heaviest of them all.
Yeah, I have a 348 and this one, and this guy is just so heavy. It's just amazing. They're the same size pretty much as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think my father got his 348 when he was affiliated with Civil Air Patrol, and maybe got from somebody through air or something. But that was prominent on his bench. And then on the other end of the bench, he had a SP 600 Hammerland. So I would just go from radio to radio. I feel like I'll listen to 348 tonight or whatever.
Yeah. The name of that book is the one written by Moore, Moore. He's pretty well known. But if you go in and you look at the military radios, he has quite a couple of pages dedicated to the development stage, and he goes all through it, and then he tells you all about the different versions of them.
Well, I'll take a look for that. Little Googling.
Russ, was this the radio I sold? I spaced out. Was this the radio I sold up at the New Hampshire thing? Okay, yeah, it's
yeah, thank you.
Yeah. No, I got that out of a house about a mile, less than a mile from me. A ham passed away, and I picked up about 150 radios.
Wow.
That house, and mostly Hallicrafter radios, about a third of them, and actually Yaesu, more modern stuff, and then Nationals and everything like that. And I picked up probably 15 military radios, and this was one of them. And it's a cool looking thing, weighs a ton, but it wasn't my specialty. I'm not really into military things, so I'm glad it went to a good home.
Yeah, I'm glad to have it.
Yeah, and I know you got it for a very good price, but again, it's a nice looking radio. I mean, it was filthy. I thought I should have cleaned it up more, but it looks much nicer now.
Oh, gave me something to do.
It had patina, John.
Yeah, the patina. Patina was very nice. I knew a girl named Patina once. I'll go into that.
That's funny.
That is it for me.
Well, it sounds like you did okay, Russ. You got some good stuff.
Yeah, things are getting a bit crowded here, though.
Well, that's all right. You got stuff you probably had on your checkoff list, so you did okay.
Yeah, but there's still a lot to do on the list, so um, but, but not enough space.
Well, I guess we all face that in some way. But well, thank you, Russ. Um, so Hugh, how'd you make out there? Whoop, gotta unmute you there.
There we go.
There you go.
So, I have a small complaint that the show was too short. It was like I felt like it just got going,
Yeah.
and I was at my table the whole time and really didn't get. I took a really quick walk around once. I guess I missed a lot. uh, That said, I bought one thing, a book of Beatles scores. It's got the complete catalog of the Beatles and all the instruments and vocals and all that stuff.
Oh,
It's
that's
a
pretty
little
cool.
hard. It's a little hard to read. It's really pretty small writing, but anyway. Um, so I had low expectations for myself at the show. I'm thinking I'm hardly ready for this. I got ready the week before, then I was up at my daughter's place for several days. Got home Saturday afternoon and unloaded the car from that and loaded a bunch of stuff in. But I actually got rid of a whole bunch of stuff. I was very happy about that.
Uh,
A lot of black-faced receivers and. Um, I had a Hallicrafters SX100. I let it go for $70 to just because I have a couple of Hammerlunds here and some other stuff, so I got to stay focused a little bit. My basement is uh, still difficult to navigate, but quite a bit better right now. So there's a gentleman from Gloucester, I think. Who is setting up stereo systems around his house. I met him first at Brookline, and he stopped by my table. He says, "I'm looking for some big speakers." You found the guy. And I sent him to my house, and he met up with my wife, and I had these two big floor standing Polk speakers. And he was happy as a clam and took them home for a couple $100, and they were out of my garage. Um, he had gotten a receiver from Bevilacqua, the
Art.
TV.
Yeah,
Art,
Art.
yes,
Yeah.
Art. And Well, a little bit of side story there. The speakers, those particular speakers, have a jack that goes between the two speakers, and it kind of mixes a little bit of the channels to open up the sound field or something like that. And turns out when he had that plugged in, the receiver was going into protection. And what it was is the receiver had balanced speaker outputs, kind of an H bridge thing to get, more power out of a lower power supply by, sending the two sides of the speaker up and down. And that wire in between connected the ground, the minus terminal of both speakers. So when things were out of phase, it was unhappy. But anyway, that something happened to that, and he was happy to get a Onkyo receiver I had and that kind of stuff. So I was quite pleased about all that. Um, One of the things that was kind of neat, I don't know if you guys saw Steve Byans' post. He did a really nice
Yeah.
photo essay of he's an old test equipment collector,
Yeah.
and restores all kinds of really cool vacuum tube, voltmeters, and he knows all about all the crazy designs and super high input impedances and stuff like that. So he did a really nice walkthrough and posted it on the Antique Radio forum, but he put the link into his email of maybe a week ago, something like that. But that was quite fun to read. So
Yeah.
if you're at all interested, I suggest folks go check out that posting to the club email. Um, Myself, I've been messing around with circuit board design software called KeyCAD. It's a free software design thing. So I'm making these little boards to, for whatever reason, I come up with this idea to put a string of 100 feet of addressable LEDs around my kitchen and family room. And I was a little concerned about the length of the data transmission, so I designed a little thing with a differential driver and receiver. But there's only a little bit of space behind the crown molding to put them, so I made this little board to go up there. So
Wow.
I've got that project going. Um, and it's also interesting, just learning the CAD. I've worked with a lot of PC board designers, but usually it's me sitting there pointing at their screen while they're doing all the clicking and hacking. So there's that. And one last interesting technical thing. I have a friend in Seattle, a college friend, and he's working on this kind of an art project, but he's got this ball that has a 3D accelerometer in it, and he has it Bluetooth to a bass unit, and by the motions of the ball, he's playing music. So his bass unit puts out MIDI, keyboard like signals that go to a synthesizer and plays music. So if he shakes the ball, it plays different tunes and shakes it in different ways. So he wanted to have a function where, depending on how high he held it, it would change the pitch. So, high up in the air would be a high pitch, down by his foot, it would be a low pitch. And, I thought about it. I said, well, you could probably mathematically figure out from the 3D accelerometer data, take the rotation out of it and kind of figure out your acceleration going up and down and infer your position. But that's subject to drift and things like that. So he did a little research and he found this pressure sensor that is sensitive enough to 2 inches of atmospheric pressure. So he's got the pressure sensor in there. Actually has a reference one of the base units, so if somebody slams the door of the room, it doesn't mess it up. But it's sensitive to 2 inches of air pressure, which turns out to be about a 10,000th of a psi.
Wow.
And he has it working, so he just sent me a video of it. I haven't looked at it yet. I told him I'm busy with you guys, but I just thought that was pretty amazing.
That's unusual.
Sensitivity of the pressure sensor, and it's this little $15 board you plug into all these single board computer things that people have available today. So pretty amazing.
That's pretty cool.
That's my technology story for today.
No, that's not bad. You got a lot of stuff going on, especially in the kitchen. Yeah. You got baklava and circuit boards.
Yeah, there's that. Yeah, I could take a break for the baklava until Christmas, but yes.
Cool. Well, thank you. Thank you.
All right.
So let's see here. Hey, Bruce, how you doing out there?
I'm doing well, John. How you doing?
All right. Did I see you at the show? I'm not sure.
I didn't see you, but I was there.
Oh, glad you were. I missed you.
It was a great show as always, and as always, I just think the volunteers that make it happen deserve a heck of a lot of thanks. They put a lot of work into it. It really shows. One thing I enjoyed about it was that this year I was not a vendor. I was just a buyer, and so I wasn't tethered to a table, and I could just go wherever I wanted, whenever I wanted, and enjoyed it. My best score of the show, however, took place on groups.io in the weeks leading up to it, thanks to Hugh. Hugh sold me a very nice Hickox 533A, and I haven't touched it yet, but it's I wanted to graduate from my emissions, my triplet emissions tester, get a nice transconductance tester, and this one's very, very nice, and he gave me a very good deal on it. So thanks again, Hugh. I really appreciate that. And having brought that home the week before, I also was in the situation of telling my wife I wouldn't be bringing anything home. And so I really kept to that. I brought home some vinyl and a little sign that from an old radio shop. And I got out of there, and nobody got hurt. So it was very good.
That seems to be the common theme here.
Yeah.
Or you had to be fast to dodge the waffle iron or the frying pan.
It was a great show.
Not to mention the glasses.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yes, indeed. Well, that was good. It's good. So, yeah, there was plenty of vinyl at the show, so there wasn't a problem there. In fact, I even came home with a piece of vinyl because I'm always on the prowl for my niece, being that she's like 21 and she has a phonograph, and so I'm on the prowl for things that she asked for. I just basically say, send me your wish list and I'll try to find it. So,
What's on the wish list? But pray tell.
so she was looking for a particular Earth, Wind, and Fire album, and I can't remember the name of the album offhand. Because I shot an email out to Kenny Cool, who he's usually on the prowl because he always has a big selection of vinyl, and she also likes Stevie Wonder. Unfortunately, I kind of swung and missed on both because he wasn't not able to find much this time. I was able to get a Stevie Wonder. It was like a mix album that had like Temptations and so forth that I got from Fall Brookline. So I wanted to come home with something for her. So I just rolled the dice and I got her a Simon and Garfunkel album, just thinking, well, she did like the Eagles, and she does like America. I got her out of that. So she's 21. She likes some of the vintage music from her perspective. And so I said, how can you not like Simon Garfunkel? I mean, it's if she doesn't like it, it's costing next to nothing.
Right. Yeah,
So
that's cool.
so
Stevie Wonder was one of the first big synthesizer users. He's
yeah.
got some cool songs with a lot of synth in them. I like those. Cool.
Yeah, and she does keyboard. She's graduating, in fact, this year from Brandeis.
There you go.
So she has a music degree. But she does keyboard.
If she doesn't have any yet, you should try to get her some weather report or something like that.
Right. There you go. Oh yeah, send her out there.
Yeah, I sing the body electric.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Right. But
sure. Or Morton Sabotnik, if you really want to send her to the moon. Exactly. Yeah, silver flowers on the moon or something. That's some crazy shit. But all right, excuse me.
No, that's quite all right.
All right.
That's quite all right. But
Michael Urbaniak and Ursula Dudziak.
Get her some Jimi Hendrix.
She hasn't made that request yet, but I'm open to whatever she would like. All my job as her uncle is to indulge her. So.
Yeah, you gotta meet them where they are. When they're 21. So
exactly, she's a really nice young lady. So I want to, if she's looking for something, she's not going to anything too crazy. So I say, give me a wish list, and I'll see what I can find. But try to help the club members, the vendors, and help her while I'm there. So Bruce, was that all that you came away with, or I just want to make sure I gave you the full airtime?
Yeah, that was pretty much it. The only other thing I'll mention is, as some of you know, I was fairly inactive for the past 3 years because of stuff that was going on, and so I pulled out a Webcore reel-to-reel tape recorder that I've had on the bench for several years. Was dreading opening it and looking to what was going to be what I'd have to do. And I opened it up and I go, oh my God, somebody's been in here already and has already recapped it. And I look closer and I recognize my own work. And it's like, so I had changed a bunch of electrolytics and a bunch of wax capacitors, had done a bunch of work on it, didn't even remember it. So I got half the project that I thought I was going to end up with.
Welcome to the club, Bruce.
That's funny. I'm sorry I missed you, Bruce, because there were so many people to see, and I did run into various people, but obviously we never managed to see each other.
Yep. It's okay. I was just wandering around seeing who I'd find, and Hugh was really the only person that I recognized quickly. I know who Bruce Phillips is, but he and I haven't really talked or anything. I didn't see Larry. I'm sure he
I was
was
there.
there.
Oh
So,
yeah. Oh yeah. He was helping out in various capacities. But yeah,
so that was it.
Elaine always helps out the checking in people coming to the show to purchase all our goods.
Right.
So she helps out with Paul Bearish was there as well as Chuck. So those three were bringing in the people, bringing in our funds. But yeah, it was good. But well, thank you, Bruce. Always glad to have you. Um, let's see here. Hey, Greg, how you doing? I know you weren't at the show, but what's going on in your neck of the woods? We're gonna have to get you out one of
Well,
these
I
years.
can show you one project. I can show you one project that
Yeah,
I
let's see
just
it.
finished. You might find it. All right.
Show whatever you got going on. We got plenty of time.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see.
Oh,
That showing up?
Mhm. Yep.
That's a 1934 Coronado. It's a model 675. It's a little tombstone, just a six tuber, and
oh,
that's
Nice
how it looked when I
dial.
got it.
I like that dial face.
Yeah.
It's got a weird tube lineup. It's got some real early tubes. It's got a 27, a 37, a 2A6, a 2A5, and a 58, and then an 80 rectifier.
Yep.
So it's got kind of a mixed bag of earlier tubes in it.
What year did you say is this, Greg?
34.
34.
1934.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's a good looking radio.
Let's try and
Those,
get the fit picture.
oh, sure.
There's how it looks now.
Ta-da.
Ooh.
Yeah, I like that.
Look at
Art
that dial
Deco.
face yeah, I love that too. Oh, the banding and all. Wow, that's
Yeah.
nice.
That's a beautiful Art Deco radio.
There were some nice wood grains under all that
Yeah.
old finish on there.
Yeah.
Wow, that looks nice.
What year is that? That must be 30s too.
Well, it's the same radio, just before and after.
Oh, okay.
Look at that. Greg works his magic.
Yeah. Yeah. Did a beautiful job on that.
I like it. Is that like a reddish bulb or is that or
No,
more of a red
it's an
tinted?
amber. Yeah, it's an amber bulb. It just because of the fluorescent light makes it look a different color.
Oh, okay. Because I was wondering, wow, that is slick. Now,
Yep.
is that on the for sale or is that a keeper?
That one's actually sold already.
Why am I not surprised? Wow, that's gorgeous. Some lucky person has got themselves another terrific restoration by you, Greg. Love it.
Yeah, it was a repeat customer. He collects Coronados, and he saw this one right away.
Wow.
So they might have a couple of other pictures yet.
Oh yeah, let's see some more.
It's got a little banding on top too. That
Oh yeah. I like that. It's got the crown, if you will, on top there, the band. That's nice. Yeah, that's it. That's gonna look nice in someone's living room.
I think so. Here's the. Well, it's. I think it is after I did it. Yeah, that's how the rear view looks.
Okay.
It's got a 6-inch speaker.
Yeah, that's pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
What's the IF in that? 465?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because those are the two first and second IFs are in front here. You can see the trimmers on the sides of it.
Mhm. Yep.
Yep. Wow,
Years ago, back in the 80s, I'd say about 1984, 85, I had one just like this. One of the first radios I got. At that time, I could never figure out how to get it working. I was pretty young at that time, so I was happy to find another one and actually get one playing.
oh, that's
No
great.
problem today, though, right?
Yeah, wasn't as much of a challenge as it would have been back then.
Yep.
Great. Well, that's very nice. Got any other
What
projects
was
going on there, Greg?
Pardon me?
You have any other projects or radios going on?
Oh, there's always projects going on. I'm doing some little Philco transitones now. Just common ones from the late 40s. Painting up the cabinets.
Very nice. Well, look forward to any future photos you have of other restorations where it's always fun to see.
Yeah, I just grabbed those real quickly before the Zoom. I'd forgotten it was a round robin tonight, and I didn't have a lot planned to show. So at least I had something.
Oh, yeah.
Greg, Greg, what did you use for finish on those?
Well, that's all Mohawk toners.
Hmm. But I mean, for a final finish. Um,
Well, that is the final finish. You
Okay.
mask off the
Okay.
different areas and
all right.
different.
Wow. Thanks, Greg. That's awesome. Truly awesome, the Coronado. So big thumbs up there,
It's more of a Midwest brand. There probably aren't a lot of Coronados out east there because it was more of a they were a chain department store in this area, gamble stores.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Isaiah. Well, yeah, we'll definitely post the recording on YouTube probably by the weekend, but sorry you have to go, but thanks as always. And now I know it's Cantu Coke. But okay, well, let's see. I'm gonna proxy for Joe because I know he's calling for work. Joe, you're welcome to join, but I'm gonna show one thing on behalf of Joe. I think it's on my. Let me see. Let me scroll down here. Yes. So let me just share my screen for just a moment. Bang. So I just wanted to give everyone proof that there's Joe and his girlfriend, and he was out there selling stuff. So he brought stuff out here and was a vendor. So thank you, Joe. I think I have another photo here. Yeah, of the two. So that's their table selling up various gear, testers and tubes and various things. I'm sure Joe could do a much better job than I'm doing exactly what he brought. But it was good to see. So just proof is in the pudding that Joe was there. And I think it's pretty cool they came out, that far to make a show and be a vendor. So thank you, Joe. I thought it was pretty darn cool.
Wow.
So let's see here. Well, Bob, how are you doing? What's going on in your radio world?
I think I said everything I had to say at the start.
Okay.
I just didn't. I know it's gonna get picked again.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah,
but that's okay. I mean, really nothing else. I mean, I have a couple things, but nothing spectacular. I'm just enjoying seeing what everybody's been bringing up and little treasures that follow them home. I know I'll be hopefully not bringing too many things home on Sunday, but we'll see what happens. So just watch for the video on my Radio Wild channel. I'll probably have it up maybe either Sunday night or Monday morning, so you can see the goings on at our event Sunday. I know John Comer will be there. I'm sure, right, John? You coming?
I can't this time, unfortunately.
You can't.
I can't, and I feel
Uh-oh.
bad.
I want to hear the excuse. What is it, John?
Actually, I'm working.
You're working?
and
I
it's
thought you were retired.
I wish I was, but I'm going to be working from now on.
Oh, okay.
It's just something that unfortunately I have to work this Sunday,
Oh, okay.
and
Well, I'm
it's
sorry. Well, you'll be missed
thank you,
for
because
sure. I mean,
I've over the years I've cut out a lot of the ham fests and antique radio meets, and the New Jersey one is one I like very much. Same thing with the one in New England, and it just I can't make it, unfortunately.
okay.
But maybe next year or next time.
That's all right. Hey, you got to do what you got to do. I still have to go play with a furnace yet before I go to bed tonight. So,
Okay, well, I
Oh
hope you
boy.
two have a good time.
so yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. I'll be having just as much fun as you will be having on Sunday, John. So that's
Okay.
needless to say. But thank you for asking, John, our host, John. John is to me, John.
Hey, always
That
good to,
nothing exciting going on in my life
well, okay. But thanks,
other
Bob.
than just testing a lot of tubes. That's all I've been doing is I've been buzzing a bunch of tubes through one of my various tube testers, get ready for Sunday.
Cool.
So
That's all right. And we'll get to
anybody
talk about
needs a
that.
bottle. Even one of you guys are looking for hard to find something like that. I've got tubes. So
Awesome.
that's kind of my side gig in retirement.
Cool.
So
And I imagine you mail them too if you needed something.
yeah, I mean if you guys really want a tube mailed, I could do that too. I have post office technology. The workers aren't so great, but the post office does work.
Hey,
I actually got something today from China that, and I'm not kidding. I ordered something from China and it only took a little over 3 weeks to get here. So the only thing it was toys for my cats, my two cats, and I'm glad they didn't pass before they got here because it just I would have been really disappointed. They have a picture. I got suckered on the internet. They had these little toy birds that flew around and you see cats chasing them. I said, okay, sign me up. So I reached out to my PayPal and came out with $60 and 3.5 weeks later, the stuff finally came today. So, but I wore the cats out because I think they're both sleeping. So,
There you go. Newfound
so
so I,
toy.
so I guess it
so
worked.
so Bob, how many do you have? Very many of those 50s?
50s?
Yeah,
Tubes?
yeah,
Oh, I don't have any more. I had some a few months back.
yeah.
I find, it's really funny. I'll keep searching though. If I see any, how many do you
Oh,
need?
I'm not interested in them, but
Oh, okay.
I used to sell them for the museum,
Oh, okay.
and
I had a friend that was kind of like thinning down last year,
yeah,
and he's a really super nice guy. And he came up to me and he says, "Bob, listen, do me a favor. Can you test these things out and bring them to this?" I took him to one of Kutztown's. I think it was the spring. So I said, "Well, how much you got into?" He says, "Look, whatever you can get for them, we'll do 50-50. How's that? You test them, box them up, bring them to Kutztown, wherever you get, we'll split it right down." Okay, fine. And I did that. So we had 7 Globe 50s, and I sold them for 100 a pop for a guy
you
that shows up
you
at Kutztown. And I know
you
he loves it when
you
I come up to him because
you gave them away.
no, I
Oh,
sold it depends. I sold them for 100 a piece.
yeah,
So when I saw my friend again, he came later that day in Kutztown. I just pulled $400 out and said, "Here, this is yours."
yeah,
And he says, "What'd you sell them for?" I said, 700. Don't worry about it. And he just reached in his pocket and handed me 50 and he just even handed me. He just like reaches
yeah,
into my pocket and stuff
yeah,
it in there.
yeah.
So
I've
that's
sold
okay.
I've sold 50s for anywhere between, I don't know, 250 and 400, 500 a piece.
Yeah, that's what John Cummer sells them for.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
yeah, well, if I had any left, but
yeah,
I have between 15 and 20,000 tubes here.
yeah,
Not here, and in my friend's basement also. And yeah, I sell tubes on eBay, and
yeah,
people
yeah,
pay
yeah.
The six right now, the six SN7s are going crazy, and
Which one? The Sylvania pre-war?
the Sylvania ones, they like the green one with the green writing on the base, and I know they're crazy, but hey,
Yeah,
my thoughts are if a buyer is happy and a seller is happy,
yep.
what can be
Well,
wrong? You know?
I when I was selling tubes for the museum on eBay, I would start them off at a very reasonable price, but they would just take off. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
sold a
Over
lot
the
of.
years, there are trends also. Certainly, the
Yeah,
audiophiles drive the tube market.
that's right.
And like for a
That's right.
while, the audiophiles wanted number 46 tubes.
Oh yes.
And
Yeah,
they were also going $50 or $75, which is nuts.
yeah,
But again, if the seller is happy and the buyer is
yeah,
happy,
yep.
I mean, what are they
but
doing with 6SN7s, if I can ask? I mean,
those,
I got
the,
like boxes of those just
They
because
they go to
they
a
bring
lot of
television
preamps.
sets all the
yeah,
time.
the audio guys want them for preamps. But listen, I'll be glad to take the six SN7s off your hands just
The
because they don't mess up your house. No.
I'll tell you
I
one thing
keep
that I'm
them. I
looking
mean, I
for, and
keep
you
them.
guys are going to laugh.
They
I
go in
have
television.
just two 12AX7s. That's all I got.
Yeah,
Because I had a guy come up to me, literally, he bought every 12AX7 I had.
that's right. Yep.
My head was spinning. I'm like, really? You really want all them? Yes. Okay.
What kind of money?
I don't remember how many I had, but I remember at the end of this was at the wintertime swap meet that we're same venue that we're going to be doing Sunday. I came there with probably about 30 12AX7s. He bought them all. He bought other things for me. He bought 6SN7s, and he bought some of the odd derivatives of different, variants of like 12AU7s and 12AT7s, and that. He bought just about everything I had, and I think he left me like $450 when everything was. That was my biggest sale of the day, and I after 3.5 hours, I left there with $600, and my head was still. But it was nice having the money. But now I'm thinking, where am I going to find these tubes now? I got to start hunting.
I can't.
But
They're
I
hard
found
to find.
six
Yeah.
SN7s, and I can't find any 12AX7s.
All right. Also, you got to look for if not a 12X7 equivalents like a 7025.
Oh,
Yeah.
7025s?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
Well, I had
7025.
some 7025s, but I have a guy that does guitar amps that
Oh, yeah.
he'll call me once a month. You got any 7025s? He's looking for all kinds of crazy stuff like the what was that tube that went in Fender amps? 6C10s, I think it was. No,
The six, yeah, the 6C10,
it's a
the small one.
Compactron with three
Yeah.
12AX7s in it.
Yeah, that one, $50, $100 on a good
I
day.
actually found two of them at the Sussex Hamfest. And I
Yeah.
won't tell you what I paid for them because you'll shake your head. I got them for next to nothing.
Great.
The holy grail of
They
6SN7s.
they were basically in a tube. Well, they were in a tote, like a repairman's tote, and they were laying right on top, and people were walking by them.
Mhm.
And I had my buddy with me. I said, "Hey, look! I'm trying not to be too inconspicuous. I see two 6C10s in that tote.
Hmm.
Bob, what's a 6C10?
It is. It's yeah.
There's a couple $100 sitting there, and he wants $15 for the thing. I think I'm going to buy it.
Shame on you, Bob. I would never do that.
The holy grail of 6SN7s are the Kenrad VT231s.
Oh, okay. The people like Kenrads for some reason.
Can you
I
kind of
don't know
educate
why.
me on that, Rob? As to why that is? I'm just curious.
They say they have such a mellow sound.
Oh, it's a sound thing.
Yeah,
Okay,
we don't.
gotcha.
We're mortals. We don't understand what the gods like.
Yeah, I'm an idiot. I'm just so gullible and not knowledgeable about
we're
anything.
more mortals. Yeah, but
Yeah.
no. But if you have any of the military 6SN7s, then the price goes.
That's right.
Or the I think there are 6SN7s that have metal bases. and
No.
they
Yes.
they go for hundreds of dollars.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
I don't understand audio people.
You all, some of you probably don't know, but I'll say Western Electric 300s.
Oh yeah.
yes, we all know those.
How about Western Electric 300As, match pair, NOS, new in the box?
Whoa.
No one's ever seen any, but I have.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I hate to even guess what those tubes would sell for.
Thousands.
I thought I heard
Somebody asked
$10,000.
me, I mean, and Identity has them. I'm not going to say who, but they asked me, they said, well, if we were going to start the bidding on these tubes, and what would you suggest would be a good number? I said 20,000, and they
Wow.
almost fainted. And they said,
Wow.
what would you expect them to finally go for? I said 100,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know that much, but anyway.
Well, no one's ever seen any NOS new in the box.
Yeah, I get it.
Now that's a
Because-
unicorn.
See, what happened with all the 300s A's is they were turned into Western Electric because the glass was so pure. They were melted down to make 300 Bs.
Oh, is that true?
That's right.
Wow.
Yep.
That's
See,
interesting.
that glass is so pure that over time, those tubes were never turned off. They were always running. The impurities wouldn't leach out of the glass over time with the heat, and therefore you wouldn't get a gassy tube.
I'm
Wow.
Unless you wanted a Thyrotron.
going to turn on all the tubes in my house then and start making pure glass.
There you
Yep.
go.
Yep.
How cool. Very
Yeah, that's the only
interesting.
time when gas is good is if you want a Thyrotron. Like the those Philco Magic Dial radios that have the remote control.
Yeah.
There's a Thyrotron in there.
Really?
Yes, we have one in our museum.
Oh.
So
Anyway,
things that you remember that aren't important.
right. Yeah.
That's about all I can remember anymore.
They're like a switch with neon or something? Cybertron?
It in lieu of electrons, they conduct with gas.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So there's just a certain like for example, well, what's between a 2A3 and a 2A5? Well, 2A4 is a Thyrotron. So that's a gassy tube. And that's actually the tube that goes into that Philco magic controller thing.
Why
Actually,
is
no,
that
it's
important
not
for
a controller, it's in the radio. I'm sorry.
Bob, why is that important for the magic dial?
For the I don't know. I mean, we had a problem with it, and nobody had a 2A4. The club didn't have a 2A4. I had two of them, and I gave them to the fellow that was working on it. And supposedly, I think I had a new one and I had a really strong used one. He put the new one in and it started working for about 2 or 3 days, and then it stopped working again. So it wasn't the 2A4, it was some other issue, but I never, no one ever got back to me what they did to root cause that problem with that. But that mystery dial is so cool. You just sit there. It's kind of like holding a bowling ball in your hand because the damn thing is so heavy. You sit there and let the telephone dial and adjust the volume or find the station. That is just so neat.
Funny.
Little neat gadget.
Cool.
So
So John, since you were, we got a chance to find out how you did it. We know you sold at least one item, how you made
Yeah.
out at
All
the
right.
show, and also did you come home with anything?
No, number one, I sold a bunch of stuff, the military thing. I sold new books, old books, about 3 microphones, couple of little radios. Also, I had parts like phono jacks and stuff like that, new stuff from China. And but I have a policy now. I do not buy anything.
Wow.
I see stuff I love, but now occasionally I've bought things in the last few years, but it's very rare. And if anything, it just I got too much stuff here. It's all over the house. I used to have a storage room somewhere, but to pay that money was ridiculous. And I got so much here. There was a distributor on Long Island of electronics that went out of business about 2 or 3 years ago. And I bought from him, must have bought 9,000 tubes.
Whoa.
And also, but other stuff from him I probably bought. I mean, he was also distributed, like light bulbs, lamps. And I probably have a couple of thousand different varieties of lamps, all kinds of numbers. I got all this stuff to sell. And it's just I can't accumulate anymore. It's just crazy. And as much as I want to, I sell stuff now. And I mean, I could trip over stuff sometimes, but I try to keep it out of the bedroom and the bathroom. I just, it's ridiculous. And like here, I found this here, I could show something I have here.
Okay, let me
This is a realistic Radio Shack.
Walkie-talkie.
No, it's a CB 23
CB.
channel.
What, yeah, yeah.
Oh, how cool.
Oh, is that a full 5 watts?
I believe so. It says power high low. It takes
12C batteries.
it takes AA batteries. Hold on, I'm unscrew the. I don't know if you could see this on that.
I've got a spotlight, so we can. Yeah, you can see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, I got a flashlight here. That.
I had the battery tester realistic right here for you.
Yeah, and it's funny.
Yeah.
It's got this little switch here. Apparently, if you take the cover off, like I did, this now also it has some little battery goop on it.
Oh
As you
yeah,
can
it's
see.
just typical. Yeah.
I got this. I don't know where I found this going to my basement is like going shopping because I don't remember where I got this from. And I even have the damn case for it.
Oh, okay.
But I keep finding this stuff in the basement, and it's just too much. I got a bunch of these. I found a bunch of these RCA reference books the other day. This one from 1967. I mean, I just got too much, and I can't do it anymore. So I didn't come back with anything. Also, I just want to mention one other thing. For most of my life, I could go when I went the other day up to New Hampshire. I left at 1:30 in the morning, drove up there, did the thing, and then drove home. And I can't do that anymore because of my age, because I actually started to nod out and I almost had an accident.
Oh dear.
On Route 91 going south.
Ah, okay.
Really?
And it scared the hell out of me. And for now, I can't do that anymore. I'm gonna have to get some kind of hotel room.
They do have there are hotels in New Hampshire.
Yeah, I know. I know not everyone sleeps in a tent in New Hampshire.
Well, I mean, aren't there cars on cinder blocks? You could climb into one of the cars.
They have flush toilets too. It's
I know not everyone has engines hanging from their trees, No, I'm 70 years old now, and I never thought I'd be at this point where I couldn't do that, round trip ride.
I did the
in
same
one day.
thing. I'm 82, and about 10 years ago, I quit doing it. Just couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah, I got really scared.
It takes a toll on you.
Yeah, and after that. I stopped at not one but two different rest stops on the way home, just to walk around and stay awake. And but it was really spooky, and I just can't do that again. It's
And I
Isn't that
have
amazing how you can still be 28 between the ears, but yeah.
yeah,
well,
yeah.
that's right. I act like a 12-year-old,
Right.
So
By the
I
way,
have I have a friend who lives in Maine, and every year I go up and we do field day from his location. He has a beautiful location up there, 100-foot high pine trees and everything else. We put up all kind of antennas. But to get up there, it's an all-day event for me because I go rest area to rest area to rest area, and
it's
it
yeah, you
just
understand. It's just for me, I just it's not I can't do that
no,
anymore.
no,
And I know we all most of us are older now
yep, yep.
on this Zoom meeting, and I just I got to acknowledge, age is catching up on me, and
Yep, yeah, catching up on all of us.
I mean, I'm waiting for the day I start losing my hair. You know,
Oh,
and I'm just
gee,
scared of that. I'm
gee
scared of
whiz,
that.
I hadn't noticed that. I kind
I
of get in that way too.
Yeah, it's sometimes it's so bushy it gets in my eyes, and I gotta
yeah.
push it back. You know,
That'll teach you not to drive with the window open like that, John.
Yeah,
exactly.
really
I got.
not sure how to tell you this, John, but you don't have to wait.
I mean, it's no. Anyway. The whole thing. That's all I'm saying. It's and it's like I also don't want to leave if I should, croak. I don't want to leave all this stuff for my family to deal with because I've dealt with almost 100 different families over the years of cleaning out of houses of electronics and the pain they're going through. I see this. I've been called to many houses, and it just, the hassle the families go through. I've also had friends where the family didn't even care. They just got the dumpster and
Yeah.
threw out all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
But anyway, that's all I'm saying. I'm trying to get rid of stuff. I'm not
I see.
buying stuff now. Unless someone calls me with 1,000 tubes, there's always room for tubes, there's always room for Jello,
Well,
all right.
there's always a bed at my house right off 495 about the middle, so you're always welcome.
Thank you.
Those come crash.
But I just got to do something now. Or going up to New Hampshire or wherever. It's just no, getting old. That's all from New
Yep.
York.
All right. Well, hey, it was good seeing you, John. In fact, just a quick just a proof. I just gonna grab that photo here on there. There he is.
Oh, there
Oh,
you go.
he didn't lose his hair. It fell down to the bottom of his head.
Yeah, exactly. So that's early in the show. In fact, I think behind you, John doing his serenading for everybody. Doing his
Oh,
Yeah, you
medicine.
say it's early in the show, but he's been up for 9 hours.
He looks pretty good at that point.
Yeah.
The coffee
Nice,
hadn't the
yeah,
coffee hadn't
Yeah.
worn off yet.
nice
it's
to be cured for that shit.
yeah. And in fact, that microphone, the D104, whatever that is,
Yep.
that's one I didn't sell, but I had a bunch of microphones with me, and anyway, that's all. In fact, I'm gonna get off right now. I got to
All
do
right.
some stuff, but
Hey, well, thank you. I thought I'd get you in there. It's a good thing I did.
it's good seeing everyone, and
Hopefully see you at the next meeting.
don't go driving around for 15 hours straight.
Yeah, I think so. Good night,
Good night,
John.
Take
John.
care,
Good
John.
night, John.
Good
Take
night.
care, buddy.
So
Okay.
long.
But hey, so Noah, what's going on in Texas?
Oh, since I already missed Wheel of Fortune and Matlock, I guess I might as well just keep going here. Right? I've succumbed to some ancient technology or something. I don't know. I haven't done much electronics because I've done things like, let's see, in the last couple of weeks, it's been change the hot water heater in the house,
Oh, that's fun.
change the radiator in the Dodge Magnum.
Um,
Apparently this newfangled stuff is like getting beyond me. It's like, I've changed radiators in 60 and 70-year-old cars, and it's like no big deal to refill the cooling system and bleed them, but like something from the 2000s, apparently that's difficult. The good news is I am still able to do things like, take apart a car and put in a radiator, even on something new where you got to move electric fans and you got to, unhook lots more things than you would if it was a 61 Chrysler or a 70 Chrysler.
yeah.
But damn, I there's got to be some kind of magic trick to bleeding the system. It's airbound or something, I haven't been able to bleed it yet. There's a little plug in the housing of the water pump, and it's above where the thermostat and the radiator hose comes off. So I'm thinking maybe that plug's got to come out, and I've got to at least bleed up to that point to then make it work. Usually, you put in as much water as you can in an old car, and then you start it up and you put the heater on and you look into the radiator and you see it getting hotter and hotter, and all of a sudden you see it go whoosh when the thermostat opens up, and then you top it off and you're all done. But can't
What
do
kind of
that.
car is it?
2006 Dodge Magnum.
You know, YouTube is your friend.
Yeah.
Google's your friend
Yeah,
for that
I'll
kind
have
of
to
shit.
because there is no radiator cap on the radiator. There's like a box over to the side somewhere.
Yeah, they have an overflow thing that
Yeah, but
you
that doesn't that's not the same as looking in the radiator. So I don't, I put the heater on. I see the temperature gauge coming up to where it used to, actually a little beyond that, and the electric fans kick on. So I know that that's all kind of working, but I'm not getting like hot air out of the vents when the heater is on, and the I think I got an air pocket in there. The water's not flowing somewhere it's supposed to, so I got to figure that out. So I'm chasing stuff like that. I got the mysterious phone that sometimes goes 3 days without losing a single percentage of its battery. And like tonight, it went from 99 to 25 in the 20 minutes I was out on the patio. So it's like, now it says optimized battery charging scheduled to finish charging by 4:30 a.m.
Yes.
They do that to extend the battery
Right.
life.
Yeah, well,
Right.
It doesn't charge it too
it's
hard.
not working.
Right.
But
What I do is I set mine to 80%. You can manually override. And although it seems like whenever a little tip, as I'm learning, is that every time I do a software download, for whatever patches they want to put in,
yeah,
that it ignores the limit and goes up to 100%. So we get the upload, because I noticed that. And I was noticing my phone was saying 99%. I said, well, that's supposed to be 80%. So you have to go back and I go back to the battery settings, fumble, reset it and put it back. And so hopefully it'll go back to 80%. But that's supposed to help preserve battery longevity by just capping it. It'll just stop charging at 80%.
well, I don't have those problems because whenever I get a software update message like this latest one that I have, it says this update cannot be installed because it requires at least 1.24 gigabytes of available storage during installation, and I don't have that much left. So yeah, so it says go blow away stuff that you like pictures and things, so that we can do an upgrade. And it's like, no, thanks, but no thanks. And I think
Right.
there's supposed to be some kinds of gyrations where you can hook it up via, I don't know what, USB or something to your PC, and then use iTunes and then do the upgrade via your PC and iTunes to get to the phone. And I'm like, for what? It's like,
Oh, I use my phone
have,
for
have any of
hello and
you
goodbye.
have any of you ever I'll put a plug in now since this is kind of the mode I'm in. Have any of you ever seen the movie The Brave Little Toaster?
I have not.
I encourage you to go watch The Brave Little Toaster.
I think I can toast. I think I can toast.
It's a cartoon. We got it for my daughter to watch like 30 years ago when she was like 35, 36 years old. It's a great movie. It's a young man who's destined to be like a member of NEVEE or some other kind of, vintage electronics thing, because all of his friends in the movie are like, one of his friends is named Kirby because it's like an upright Kirby vacuum cleaner. And he's
Right.
got another one of his friends is Radio, and it's like a little AA5 with a little antenna that speaks in the voice of like Phil Rizzuto doing the ball game, you know, and
Holy cow!
and then he's got
Holy
and then
cow.
he's got another one of his, the brave little toaster is like another character, and it's one of those, you know, totally shiny, polished, you know, silver, see your face in it kind of toasters, you know, two slice thing. And the whole, it's, they're all on an adventure to try to, they get,
To
they
go
get
to the
mixed,
museum.
they get separated and they have to try to find one another. And there's a nostalgia thing because I don't know, grandma or somebody, like they're getting rid of the house like John was talking about, and they're getting rid of all these old great things that this little boy grew up with. And I don't know, it's just a really fun, great movie. I mean, you know, you'll be a kid again if you watch it. And one of the, when Kirby's like the grumpy old man, and so whenever anybody starts getting weepy or whiny in the movie, he's got this line he comes out with that says, you know, cry, moan, weep, wail, and sob, you know, like cut it out, you know, so like toughen up kind of thing. So I'm in the, like, Kirby needs to kick me in the butt, cry, moan, weep, wail, and sob. You know, man, my water heater broke, and then my radiator won't bleed, and my phone won't charge, and blah blah blah. It's like, ah, shut up. You know, it's like one of those things. So I haven't done a lot of electronics things because I'm doing battle with other appliances that are more modern than the things that I like to work on, that are easier to figure out and make work again. You know,
Mm,
kind of like that thing, that's what inspired me to send that thing about the TV and radio shops going away,
mm.
you know, kind of thing. It's like
Wow.
people used to be able to fix things and they valued things, and, you know, they cost a lot and they were special. And so
Yep. Yep.
they made sure they kept them going. And then we kind of slowly but surely turned into the
Throwaway
throwaway
society.
society thing, you know, and just like,
Yep.
just go get another one. It's gonna
Yep.
too much of a pain in the ass to fix that one. Just throw it out and go get another one. Get the new model anyway. It'll be better than the one you're throwing away, you know.
Hopefully.
Right.
Hey, John,
Yep.
Yeah,
would you mind terribly if I did a share screen real quick?
of course. Go ahead.
I thought I saw a picture of Noah when he was young. I just want to bring this up here.
Oh no.
There it is.
Yeah, that
Ah,
absolutely. You don't know how correct you are. Oh, the only thing that you're missing is, I mean, the only thing that's wrong with that picture is I was at least already smart enough, or maybe well supervised enough, that I didn't plug things into the outlet. But my grandmother, who I used to stay with when I was that age, because my mom was working at Columbia Records and my dad was working at the Bridgeport Brass Company, trying to save up enough money to move out of Bridgeport. I would stay at my grandmother's house, and she had one of those, well, it probably wasn't an old refrigerator at the time, but she had one of those kinds of refrigerators where the upper three quarters of the refrigerator was the refrigerator, and then like down the bottom, there was like a drawer that folded down, kind of came down like on a
Oh
45.
yeah, I remember that.
That was like the potato drawer or something.
Yeah.
I don't know what you were supposed to keep in there.
Storage.
She kept all of her extension cords and all those little adapters, like, you know, where you would, you know, you could screw this thing into a light socket and get plugs, or, you know, you could plug something in and then get a screw for the bulb would go in, and all these things. And she had them all in that drawer. And when I stayed with her, I would go and sit on the kitchen floor like that little boy, and I would open that drawer to the bottom of the refrigerator, and I would take out all those wires and all those extension cords and all those adapters, and I would see if I could use them all up and get them all plugged into one another and have, like, you know, no sockets or things left over that were, like, you know, open or anything. So now Tom comes into the picture here, and he's like, what the hell is this whack job talking about now?
somebody called for a doctor, and guess who popped in?
Yeah, exactly. Something, you know. So what's wrong with that brain, Mr. Pereira?
My earliest memory, I had to be under 3 years old. My parents went to visit some friends. Uh, and at some point in the afternoon, they put me down upstairs in a bed uh, to take a nap. Well, I apparently got out of the bed and went over and decided biting an electrical cord
Oh,
would be a fun thing to do.
Uh-oh.
And I guess the screams brought them from the backyard of the house
Ah!
upstairs, and they had to take me to the local doctor. You know, there were no clinics or anything. The doctors were all on call. And I remember a bandage on my tongue, gauze on my tongue.
Oh
So
my.
from that to restoring radios, it's an easy step.
That's true. So, and the thing that when Carl puts a light bulb in his mouth, it lights up.
Right, yeah.
Like Uncle Fester.
Right, yeah.
Since I have you there, Carl, what's going on in your end?
Uh, Actually, I uh, uh, listed a bunch of QRP stuff today, just trying to get too much stuff I'm just not using. John Cummer apparently can understand that, but I just thought I felt like just getting a radio going, and I grabbed a small Jewel radio I had picked up
Mhm.
at one of the NEVEE meets, and took it apart, and somebody had been it probably in the 60s, I'd say 50s or 60s. And they had taken one of those tubular electrolytics with the two leads on one end and one on the other. And best I can tell, they sort of wrapped the wire around the places it was supposed to go, and then threw electrical tape from about 20 feet away at the connections and decided that was good enough. But I got it going. It is, you were talking about that other radio earlier. This is not a stellar performer. I've got it on like 100-foot long wire,
Oh, yeah.
and BZ during the day is just gasping in.
Really?
I've got to try changing a couple of tubes, but it just was fun to take something that wasn't working and get it going. So
Yeah.
sorry I
Tech
missed the
bike.
show. Some stuff came up, and unfortunately, I think I'm going to go out to Dayton to the Hamfest in May, which I believe coincides with this show. And Bob it's 1 week after Kutztown. And I said, I can't drive out to the middle of Pennsylvania and then just kick around for a week, but I'm not going to drive to Kutztown, back to Maine, and then turn around and drive to Ohio and then out to St. Louis to see my grandson. So, uh, but I haven't been to Dayton in years, and I don't know that I'll do it again, but it'll be fun.
It's all right. You're going still the call of the ham is
Right,
yeah.
right.
Yeah, that's okay.
so,
You're
so John, I'm trying to share something
Oh
on.
yeah. I just see it now.
Oh, there it is.
The brave little toaster.
So there it is. So you got Kirby, you got Lampy, you got the radio, you got the brave little toaster, and you got, of course, Blanky, which is an electric blanket, which is why it has a little nose there for the control on it.
Got it.
These are all the characters in the movie, and I encourage you all to watch it. It was a
Good.
great.
Good to know. That's pretty cool. I never knew about that, you know. But so hey, Tom Pereira, you showed up better late than never, as they say.
Just in time.
How are things?
Real good. Sorry to be late. Had a dinner engagement that I could not avoid. And so I managed to get here before you quit. I have some stuff if you want it, and see if I'm where I am in line.
Oh, sure. No, I mean you're welcome to because we're down to only one or two left people that we've already circulated already. So you're on.
Okay, let me tell you a little bit about a project and show you some interesting pictures. This is the radio room in a 36 destroyer during the war in 1944. So that's a
Oh,
picture of the radio room in 1944. And I have access to this ship, and
whoa.
it has a very, very long history that you might enjoy hearing about. I won't make it long, but it's an interesting history. One of the major things that happened on this ship is that MacArthur
Wow.
used this ship as his command base on the day when he arrived and returned to the Philippines, as you may remember he had promised to do. And here is a picture of him sloshing through the water, and the ship is in back of him. But this is the very ship. And in addition, this is a ship that actually sunk a German U-boat during World War II. So it has an illustrious history,
Wow.
and it also has an illustrious radio room. Here it is as it looks now.
Coast Guard.
And it was after the Navy gave up on it. It was a steamboat, actually, and it continued as a steamboat through the 1950s, 1960s, 80s, and so on, with various changes being made. And it eventually was taken over by the Coast Guard and was one of the ships in the rescue of people from Cuba. So long, long, long
Wow.
history. And that
Impressive.
boat is floating to this day. And Tom has access to the radio room. Ha ha! And there it is. And that's the current state of the radio room as it was left when the boat was taken out of service by the Coast Guard in about 1990 something or other. So this is the radio room that I can play with. Can you
Wow.
imagine anything more fun than having NRDL as the radio room? And we have managed to get a ham radio call NR4DL, so we can put this thing on the air. And that's the current state of things. I'm just going to take you through a few interesting places on the boat. This is a picture of the radio equipment in the 1950s. So every 10 years or so, there would be major changes in radio equipment. And the radio that I showed you at first was 1944. There's about 1957. I think it says right down there,
Yeah.
radio room remote control units. And here is another picture of some of the radio equipment on board in 1957. Unfortunately, all the 1944 radio equipment is long gone, and
Mm.
so is the 1957 radio equipment. And we are currently left with the equipment that I showed you. But I thought you would enjoy just a random um, trip through the boat and through the electrical equipment on the boat. There's just tons and tons of stuff, electronic stuff, and tucked away in little corners. You come across a 75A3 receiver or a Tektronix scope like you see here. A Tektronix scope
Mm.
just sitting out on one of the test benches in here. Power distribution panels and other power distribution panels. Just wandering through this ship is heaven for a radio tinkerer.
Yeah.
And here is the plotting board, which is automated. And those motors that you see in back move an arm over the paper chart to supposedly tell you where you are in the world. And the mechanism is just magnificent, if you can imagine. It's the
Wow.
equivalent of a electromechanical analog computer. And
Mm.
when those gears start whirring and the little arm starts moving around the chart, it is just so much fun. It's hard to convey that kind of thing. If I took a a movie of it, for instance, it just wouldn't do it justice. You have to be in there and smell the burning oil and
Mm.
hear the noise of this thing going. And here's a couple of us in the radio room. The guy who was responsible for saving the boat from demolition is the person in the middle there. The guy on the right is a make-believe dummy radio operator made of plaster. And the guy on the left is WB2AMN, Bob Salter, who is, if any of you have ever heard him, Radio Bob on New England Public Radio, Northeast Public Radio. And he has his own station, but he comes down and volunteers on the boat. And we are good friends and tinkerers. Here's Bill, the man who saved the boat on the right, looking down, and Bob looking on. And this is what you see when you look under this table, all kinds of really weird and wonderful stuff. It's just so much fun to dig into this stuff and play with these things. There's Bob looking up at the panel. We don't know what it does, but it's fun. And this is a direction finding set and some of the added equipment for that. Bob on the left and Bill Verge, who was the person who saved the ship, essentially. Here's a view outside from the Radio Shack looking toward the back of the boat, and you can see a loop antenna in the middle there. There are all kinds of antennas. The problem is that the masts on the ship are so rusted that it is really unwise to climb them. So we end up shooting arrows up over the mast to raise antennas for the ham radio station.
That's funny.
Here is the ham radio station in a corner of one of the old radio rooms, and we have an ICOM 7610 and an ICOM 7600, all connected to some of these weird antennas that are up on the top of the ship. But here is an interesting one. This is inside the CIC, Combat Information Center. And this radio is up on a rack on the side. And it particularly caught Bob Sauter's imagination because it is a single sideband receiver capable of operating on the ham band. So we had dreams, as we have always had, of putting some of the radio equipment back on the air. The big transmitters take quite a bit of work. It's an interesting ship because it has 3 different voltages coming in. It has actually a real 440 volt line coming in from the shore. And of course, that is not a voltage you want to fool around with. So we are all extremely careful. There are also a number of 220 volt circuits, and most of the ship, the lighting and so on, is wired on 110. So there's a lot of danger here because a lot of the grounds are rusty, and you have always the possibility of a floating ground and a very, very serious possible electric shock. Here's a closer view of that transceiver. The transceiver works beautifully on receive. It is a Sun Air URT 116 transmitter receiver, and it isn't transmitting. So, of course, that means we take it apart. And here it is on the bench with the power amplifier, which seems to be the culprit, taken out of the set. And we look at this power amplifier, and it's a very interesting circuit because it is all solid state. And those 2 white things that you see are the power output tubes, putting out, not tubes, transistors, putting out, or FETs, field effect transistors, I guess, putting out about 100 watts. And they're being driven by the transistors on the right and so on. So this is basically an amplifier going from right to left, with the leftmost being the highest power device. And we are currently involved in trying to get that working. This is a plaque of some of the achievements of the boat over the years. In the lower right, you see a German submarine that was sunk. In the middle, a bunch of rescues. And above that, a whole bunch of marijuana intercepts. The boats being stopped and the marijuana being confiscated. So, like you would paint the number of airplanes you've shot down on the side of your airplane, this is the plate that shows the number of successful missions of various kinds of this boat. Okay, let me see. I think, is that all I have? Yeah, I guess that's it. Yeah.
Could you go back a couple slides?
Give me an idea what we're looking for.
It looked like fairly modern radio. I had to look away for a second while you were
Okay.
talking. And,
Yeah. Let me see what I can find.
oh, no, that's all right.
Well, I'll run through. Just tell me when to stop.
Okay. I think it's like yeah. Okay.
Anything?
And what was this?
This is the main radio room in the ship as it was decommissioned in the 1990s.
Okay. And do you know what the transceivers are there? The two identical?
Yeah, they're 1189, something like that. I have to look it up, Carl.
Okay.
Or
All right.
I've got it.
Where is the ship?
The ship is in Key West, Florida.
Oh, okay. Well,
floating happily in the warm water in Key West. And those two radios that you see in the middle there are Collins, well-known Collins receivers. A lot of good stuff on
yeah, those are the two I was talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I have a special thing on those I can show at some point.
Is that the one they sold with a white face to the general public?
No, this is slightly different. It's a military version, and it has some military unique features.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Anyway, I thought that'd be fun for people.
Yeah, that is cool.
That
is cool.
Oh, well, I'll take a road trip down to Key West with you.
Sounds good.
Oh,
especially when it gets real cold.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, well, you know what? It turns out to be, look, I was going to call on Rob, but I think Rob dropped off. So, well, actually, I can wrap this up by just what I did bring home. My last time I bring home, so I'll show that before we sign off here. Let me just bring okay, it's ready to share. So let's go share. I bought this from Bruce Phillips. I had kind of always wanted one of these, and so
nice.
Oh yeah.
But wait, there's more. Let me get to the whoops, sorry about that. Let me get the photo. There we go. I got myself a little out of sync there. So yeah, so I have a friend who has a KLH. This is a KLH Model 8 from circa 62. And it just has a terrific vernier tuner. It's FM only, as you can see. And it has its own speaker. So there's the speaker there. This was what prompted me to see this when, if you may remember, Bruce Phillips had posted in advance of our show bunch of photos that if you wanted to purchase something from him from his collection, just let him know what you want, and he'd work out, give you a club discount, like a third off. And one of his pictures had a KLH 8 and a 13, and I said, oh, I like that I wouldn't mind having. So I reached out to Bruce, and he goes, that's going to my son. So I'm like, oh, okay. But he goes, wait, I have one. I have something coming out of the shop. And so I said, okay. So at any rate, I ended up getting this from him. And it has a nice, it has great sound out of the speakers. I mean, sure, they're going to be a little short on bass, but great mid and upper range. They're just really nice. But what made it special is I bought the 13 as well. And that's the they offered a rare multiplexer. And what's nice about it is it also takes not only so you daisy chain. The way it works is it connects this 13 has a dedicated RCA jack that plugs into the 8. And the 8 does have an RCA jack, says for the multiplexer. So now the the one I have has the black knobs, as you could see. Um, um, and as I understand it, the 8 with the cream knobs is the less common one, and that was meant to be sold with the 13. But the 8, any 8 will plug in with the 13. But in an ideal world, mine would have had the cream knobs, because the black ones are more common. But what beggars can't be choosers, because it's hard enough to find these. So at any rate, with the multiplexer, of course, you get another. You pair them up, and of course, there's a speaker with that too, so you get true stereo. And what a nice sounding system it is. I've always wanted one, and it's really nice shape. It's obviously been restored, so it's been gone through, so I don't have to do anything. And you can see the cabinet is in nice shape, looks nice, and boy, does it sound nice. It's
Good.
just, it's just, I said, you know what? And has this nice little power knob, and I don't know whether it's my eyes deceiving me, but it almost looks like the light is almost like a tuning eye. It looks like, at least maybe I'm fooling myself because of the angle, but it looked like when you're tuning, it looked like it was dimming a little bit in spots. Now either that was just my eye deceiving me, or it really is a quasi tuning eye with that. But what a what a neat system. I kind of always want to say, okay, if I don't do this now, I will never probably run into a pair like this, especially a 13, which is very hard to find. Apparently, they only made like 1,500 of them. So, and if you figure how many of them, were found their way to, landfill or half apart in somebody's basement and never actually reassembled. So I said, okay, once in my life, I will get something unusual. So, anyway, that was my one big kind of take home. I said, well, yeah, I'll do this once. So I'm very happy.
Always like those radios.
They sound
They're
terrific.
just handsome.
Yeah, clean and also very space efficient. I mean,
Yep.
they don't take a lot of space and you get a lot, and the sound is just terrific.
I
Uh,
picked up one for $20 at Horse Traders.
wow.
That being said, somewhere along the line it had been dropped and the case apparently broke and someone had just put a piece of plywood on top. But you know what? It still sounded nice. Was not
Yeah.
the prettiest girl in the ball, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what impressed me, because I have a friend who has an 8, and just after Christmas, we went to visit him, and he has one with the cream color knobs. I don't think it's ever been restored. And he said, "Hey, you want to see it?" And he goes, "Yeah, of course." So he set up in his, in his kitchen. And I got to play with it. And I said, "Wow, what a nice sounding system." And that was just with a single speaker. I said, "Wow, this is
Yeah.
nice." And I love the vernier style.
Yes.
You can get very nice. I said, wow, made in Cambridge, Massachusetts, as we all know. I said, wow, what a terrific piece. So I was already locked in and saying, I'd like to have one. And then when I found out there was a 13 and Bruce had one, I'm like, okay, I'll do this once. And the rest is history.
So you get the Porsche a couple of years later.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. That's okay. If it's one of those things, because it's so rare. If they were common enough, I just wait. But I said, well,
Yeah.
if I don't get this opportunity, who knows when it'll avail again. So I'm happy with my decision. It's just it was nice and plus it didn't take a lot of space in the trunk. I don't have a big car, so it's so but at any rate, well, this was a fun meeting. There was a whole bunch of different things going on, and appreciated Tom's photos too, and just a lot of great conversations. So thanks for staying 10 minutes late, guys. Um, Looking forward to, I guess, the next meeting we'll probably start looking at some pictures from Castleton. So I gave you a couple of sneak previews anyway. In the meantime, have a great 2 weeks. Hope all is well during those 2 weeks. Hopefully the weather continues to improve. And one last thing, I will have an off-topic meeting. I haven't forgotten. I just been really tied up because I'm in the middle of a move. So that's why it's sort of things gotten a little crazy. So just hang tight. I will run the meeting again, but just bear with me a little bit because the next month or so will be just a little busy. But I'll still get at least the main club meetings through, and then things will ease up on me.
You moving to a new house?
Yeah, moving from one town to another. It's only about 7 or 8 miles, but yeah, we're going to so we're going to one floor living, so to speak. We decided we would just do this now while
Yep.
you know while why not instead of being ever forced to. So we because our current place is pretty vertical, lots of stairs and so forth. So
Yep.
anyway, that's what we're doing. So that's why you can imagine I'm like, oh,
Downsizing to more square footage?
no, sadly, funny enough, it's kind of a little bit upsizing. So at least it'll be bigger, more space for more toys. But I'm
Well,
really
that's
still
good.
going to be, I'm going
That's
to be
good.
behaved. I'm going to be behaved. I promise myself.
Yeah,
So
right.
You
yeah,
can't. It's impossible.
that is true. You know, I'm really gonna, I don't know what it's gonna be like a few years from now. I'm like, oh my God, what did I just acquire? But
Well, the nice thing is I heard that John left all the stuff to you.
oh my
Yeah.
God. Well, there's a divorce coming on its way. Yeah, but
But it's
but
all glass. You could just leave it outside under cover.
Right.
yeah. But anyway, guys,
All right.
take care of yourselves, and we'll
Hey.
probably talk to you in a couple of weeks.
All righty. Good
See
night.
you
Thank
later.
you.
Have a great night,
Good
guys.
night.
Thank you. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Right.
Bye.